Hello everyone, my name is Mike and this is Matrix to Paradise. This is a channel that I've created to document my journey from working in the Matrix, which happens to be a truck for me, to going to my paradise, which is going to be documenting my adventures overseas. So I'll be doing the same exact thing I'm doing now, except it won't be trucking, it'll be overseas, and I'll be showing you around different countries that I go to and live in for a period of time each time. And that's pretty much what it's going to be. I will be in this phase of my journey. I'll be in this phase of my journey for another 7 or 8 months, somewhere in there. I'm thinking right around the May, June, time zone, right? I mean, time period right there. May to June, right in there. Hopefully, I can take off. I'll have enough money saved up, and I can take off and go overseas and finally leave the Matrix. I still have some pending things that I have to figure out first. I have to figure out how much I'm going to get for my postal pension, and then after that, I'll have a better idea. Anyhow, so I picked up this load. Let's see, where did I talk to you guys? Where was I at? I was in Tonkawa. That's right. I was in Tonkawa, Oklahoma. And I was headed up to Kansas City. I picked up this load in Kansas City at Owens Corning. Owens Corning, if you don't know, is the people that make that pink insulation that goes into your walls and ceilings and stuff in the houses. So I'm carrying some sort of insulation. I don't know if it's the pink stuff, because I didn't open up the back. I don't open up the back doors. They've got a seal on it. But I'm bringing insulation to Denver. So I guess people in the Denver area need insulation. And yes, they do, because it gets cold here. Anyway, I'm now in a little place called Bennett, Colorado, which is about, probably about 30 or 40 miles east on Interstate 70 from Denver. So I'm out here at the Loves out here. It's a very, very large Loves. I got here, I got here early enough to get a spot here. The last time I came here, I got the last spot in the place. I swear to God. I searched everywhere, but I didn't get here until like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you get here after that, it is, you're parking on, you're going to some other truck stop to find a parking spot, because it's not going to happen here. This place fills up very quickly. So I got a nice spot here. I'm in a weird spot with the light though. The sun is going down, but it's still high enough that it's angling in my cab here really weird, but luckily it's not killing it. So I'm taking this to Denver. Then after that, I'm driving all the way up to a place called Morill, Nebraska, which is just north of Cheyenne, Wyoming. If you know anything about geography, right there where Cheyenne's at, the border with Nebraska is like right there, and the border with Colorado is right there. Right by Cheyenne's like right down in the southeast corner of Wyoming. So anyway, Morill, Morrill, Nebraska is just right across the Wyoming border, and it's up a little ways, probably about 50, 60 miles up north of there. So I'm going to drive up there tomorrow, stay overnight in Cheyenne. Then on the 4th, I pick up my load on the 4th. And then I've got until the 7th to get to Longview, Texas, which is only, I don't know how many miles that is, but I'll tell you here in a second. Well, hold on. Yes, it's about 1,000 miles. So it'll take me 2 full days to get down there. you can do about 600 miles, right in there. It'll take 2 days to get down there. So if I get there on the 4th, I'm thinking about doing a reset, a 34-hour reset for my time. So I can go through, instead of having to chase time from last week, I get, because the next 2 days I'm only getting 6 hours and 30 minutes a piece in the next 2 days. So I like to have a little more time. So since I've got till the 7th, and I believe it's a live unload, so that means it's an appointment. Oh, it's not a live unload. I can deliver anytime until noon on the 7th. So anyway, I could probably get my 34-hour reset done and then have my 70-hour clock reset, and I won't have to worry about recaps for another week. So I go up there on the 4th, which will be not tomorrow but the next day, but I'll take off and go up to Cheyenne tomorrow after I get done dropping off this load. Go to Cheyenne, stay there overnight. Then on the 4th, early in the morning, I'll head up there to Morill, and then trying to decide whether I should take off and go a little ways on the 4th. But if I do 34 hours, say I pick up this load 8 o'clock in the morning, I drive back to Cheyenne and stay in the Loves there. So if I get there an hour later, so 9 o'clock, I shut down at 9 o'clock in the morning. So 9 o'clock until 9 o'clock the next day, the 5th, would be 24 hours, then 10 more hours. So let's see, 10 more hours after that. 9 o'clock in the morning so about 7 o'clock at night on the, let's see, would that be on the 5th, I would be ready to go. So I would probably stay overnight, leave early on the 6th. Oh, I can't do that because I've got 1,000 some miles. Well, anyway, I'll figure it out. I'll let you know on Friday. So anyhow, I might have to take off and drive at night. That's might be what happens. I hate driving at night. Not that I can't see or anything. I just rather drive in the daytime. But I could possibly get it done that way. Anyhow, so I'm gonna do that, and I've got a load. Like I said, I got the load from Morill, Nebraska, and it's going all the way to Longview, Texas, which is just east of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex down there. And I should be able to bypass a lot of that, not have to drive through Dallas so much by taking the bypass around there, and go over to Longview and drop off that load. Oh, and that is, let's see. Oh, I've got it's a live load up in Morill. So I pull in there and I get live loaded. On the drop off, I just drop off the trailer. So anyway, not a big deal. So then I'm going to Longview, Texas. So, and plus I've noticed once I'm on recaps, they tend to wait and see what you're going to do before they give you another load. Whereas if you have your 70 hours, they just stack you up. They give you a week's worth of loads, which I love that. So I'm going to try and get this 34-hour reset done. Anyhow, so today I drove. Let's see. I will tell you how much I drove today. I drove over 600 miles today. I started off at 3201. No, they were going to give it to me, but they didn't do it. There we go. So I drove today, I'll tell you right now, 600 miles. A little over 600 miles. So, yeah, today was a fun day. Drove it all the way out here. It's only 30 miles till I get to my destination. So tomorrow I have to get live unloaded tomorrow. I think it's live unload. Tomorrow. Yes, it is a live unload tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I can sleep in. That's one good thing. I can sleep in, and it'll only take me an hour. You know, even with at 1 o'clock, it's not even trafficy yet. So it'll take me about an hour to get up there. And, yeah, I can go up there, get out live unloaded at 1 o'clock, and then head north to Cheyenne. And we have a terminal up there, too, so I can stay in the terminal, which I like. So, things are going along well. I got paid, and I'm doing well. I am saving like crazy. And I was thinking today while I was driving about minimalism and how it's working out. It really is. So like with eating and stuff now, that's a big chunk. You wouldn't believe how much you can spend with just eating lunch and dinner on, I don't even eat breakfast. Just eat 2 meals a day, and you wouldn't believe the amount of money you spend because of the truck stops. It's just stupid. And let alone, some people order DoorDash and Uber Eats and stuff, and that stuff is ridiculously expensive. So I usually buy the cheaper food, like the stuff that's cheaper. Like they have corn dogs in there that are really cheap. They have salads that are cheap, pretty cheap. Instead of buying like sweets or something, I usually get fruit. They have these little plastic things of fruit. I can show you. They're this size right here. And what they do is they cut up fruit and put it in there. This just happens to be watermelon. They cut up fruit and put it in there, and they sell them. But they sell them for $3 a piece. So it's like, that's ridiculously expensive for a little cup of watermelon, And it's pretty much like a cup of watermelon. They're raping you for this stuff. But I'm trying to keep calories down because I'm trying to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. And sunlight. And so I'm trying to keep calories down, but I'm also trying to spend less. And I've been spending less because I'm only buying, like, if I buy, they have corn dogs, but they're always sold in 2. So 2 corn dogs, that's about 320 I think it's 320 calories a piece. And so you got 2 corn dogs, that's 600 and some calories, plus some ketchup. You're looking at, 700 calories for that. And then the 2 cups of watermelon I get each time is two, because if you buy just one, it's like $3.69 or whatever. If you buy 2, they're three a piece. So I just buy 2 of them. And I get, that costs probably about $15 for all that right there. So every time I walk into those stores, it's usually right around $15, 15 to $20. So if I'm only doing that twice a day, it's only $40. I mean, at the worst, $40 a day, which is ridiculous. I shouldn't be having to spend that much money, but it is what it is. But I'm saving because before I was eating more and I was, wasn't paying attention to how much I was spending. So now I am really paying attention to how much I'm spending. Also, you wouldn't believe the stuff that you can cut back on. The stuff that, like I've mentioned this before, like I shave my head. I've got my own clippers, so I shave my head and my beard and stuff. And I save, to get your hair cut nowadays, it costs you like, after you tip them and all that, it's like $30, and so it's expensive. So I cut that out. I've already got all my clothes bought, so I don't have to worry about that. Once in a while, I have to replace some stuff. Like I had to replace my shoes because they started wearing out, and they're just Walmart shoes. They're cheap shoes, $30, $35. You can't beat that. So, toiletries and stuff, I go to the dollar store. You get dollar store you can buy toothpaste and underarm deodorant, and I'm not trying to impress a damn soul out here. I don't care. As long as I don't stink, I don't care. So I buy, whatever gel stuff, whatever roll-on stuff that's not powder roll-on, but the other stuff, the gel roll-on, I get those, like Old Spice or whatever. Who cares? I don't care what I smell like, as long as it's not like BO. So I get all that stuff cheap. And other than paying for my phone, I went, they tried to jack up my car insurance, and so I talked them down about $20. So I'm happy with that. I only have one more car insurance payment if I work it out right. So, like, I have to renew my car insurance in April. And then April's the 4th month. 6 months after that, it'll be, October. So I hope that I'm gone by October. So, anyhow, I'm working on that, so that I should only have to pay $300 and some dollars, $320, I think, more for that. That'd be the last bill I do on them. Now I've got my phone. I'm going to have to keep paying for my phone. But other than that, my bills are pretty low. When I go back home, the only thing I splurge on is like some Mexican food, but it's not even really a big splurge. I just get a burrito every time I'm there, and they're expensive, but they're the bomb. They're awesome. But other than that, I've kind of whittled stuff down. I really have. I've gotten myself down to a minimalist way. Now, if I was talking to my buddy Andy, he would find new and exciting ways to even minimalize work, further down. And I know that he could figure out some more stuff. If I gave him my whole spreadsheet and he, I said, hey, where do you think I cut? He would sit there with a red marker and go to town. I know he would, because he thinks like that. And I'm trying to think more like that. I'm trying to think of, but you got some comfort zone stuff, like, you don't want to sacrifice on everything. But, as far as food and stuff, I've kind of gotten it pretty much whittled down. Buying toiletries and all that, like I said, I've pretty much gotten all that whittled down. I only have one more car insurance payment, and of course, monthly phone bill. But that's it. So otherwise, I'm saving the money. When I go overseas, when I was in the Marine Corps, we learned how to pack a fighting sack for your, like a backpack you got. I think the Army calls them rucksacks. But anyway, we used to be able to pack those, and they teach you how to roll stuff up to pack. I mean, you wouldn't believe the stuff you could pack in there. And so when I take off, I'm going to take one carry-on duffel bag and one backpack. Now, my backpack's probably going to take my, my personal paperwork and my electronic stuff, like my cameras and my computer, my laptop computer, and all the accessories and stuff that I have for I got a GoPro, and I've got a regular camera, a Canon, and then let's see what else. All my electronic stuff will go in the duffel bag, and all my important paperwork will go in there, and it'll stay right on my back, so it's not going anywhere. And I bought this a long time ago, and it's not too long ago, a couple years ago, but I bought it, and it's specialized for traveling. It's got razor resistant threading. You can't cut it with a razor and steal stuff out of it. It's like totally resistant to knives. You have to really stab into it to get it, and by that time you're either dead or you're running down the street, or the would-be robbers are gone because they couldn't get into your bag. But I'm not worried about that. However, it's one of those bags you can't just cut into it. So I will pack that thing full of all my personal stuff and whatever I can fit in there. And then in the duffel bag that I take, it's going to be filled with clothes and And you could, and like I'm going to probably bring an extra pair of shoes because I hear it's hard to get shoes overseas a lot of times. And I just want to have an extra pair just in case. So I will pack that thing. I will even put stuff in the shoes. You could pack stuff inside the shoes. So I'll probably buy another $35 pair of shoes from Walmart and take them over brand new with me over there. But you're going to see, I will show how I'm packing this bag. And the amount of clothes I'll get in there is going to be ridiculous. And, all the stuff that I need to take. But I don't want to take too much stuff, though, because I don't want it to be that heavy. I want to be able to carry it around. I don't want it to be super heavy and, be a pain in the neck where I have to, check it in. I want to be able to carry it. So that's how minimalism is affecting my life, and it's going to affect my life. And I like it because traveling light is the way to go, because then you don't have to worry about losing anything. You don't have to worry about, losing anything like I don't want to lose my important paperwork, but I won't lose that. But everything can be replaced. There's nothing so sacred other than your passport. You want to make sure you're doing good with your passport. You don't want to lose that. Because that's a big pain in the ass to get back. So anyway, you go and you want to take the least amount of stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to really concentrate on that. On another note, today, I was stopped in a Love's in Kansas, and I was hanging out there eating my lunch at the time, doing my 30-minute break. And there was a guy trying to pull in right next to me, trying to back into his spot, and he was having trouble. And I thought, you know what? I'm a trainer. I have been a trainer. I'm going to go help this guy out. And that's what I did. I jumped out of the truck. This guy's backing in over here. Oh, he's close to the other truck on the other side. Anyway, and I taught him my principles on how to back into a spot. And he was so thankful. He was totally thankful that I did that. He said he never learned what I was teaching him. He never learned that in school, and he was so happy that I taught him that, and that he's going to use that from now on. And I said, "You're welcome, man. No problem. I wish everybody would teach these guys how to back in. There's a certain thing basically what you're doing is you're steering the back end of the truck. That's all you're doing. So you need to steer it in there in a certain angle and keep the tires on the line. When you keep the tires on the line on your side, you got nothing to worry about. You really don't, because you drove past the spot to see the opening. As long as the opening's big enough for your truck, and if you're in a truck stop, the width of the lines, you're going to have plenty of room. It's just putting your truck in there in the right way. And what you got to do is you got to keep your tires on that line. And I taught him how to do that, and he was eternally grateful. And I've even had older guys. I've backed into a spot. There was a spot it was in California, in Barstow Loves, and there was a spot right by it was by the shop, and they had a big dumpster out there, and the dumpster was getting in the way, sort of. But I had plenty of room to do it. But I had to be careful going into this spot because it was really tight. And this guy jumped out of his truck and he was trying to direct me. I said, I didn't say that to him. I just said, hey, thanks, And I was backing, using my method, backing in. Now, since it was so tight, because both trucks were like hugging the line, but that was like the last spot in the whole place. And finding a spot in California is a nightmare too. So I was backing in the spot, and I was making sure on my side that I was watching those tires in the back on the trailer, watching those tires and making sure they stayed on that line. And of course, I'm not going to hit the truck that I'm looking at, that I'm parking next to on my side. But I knew that as long as I kept those tires on that line, there was no deviation. If they started coming off the line, I had to pull forward and straighten it back out again and get them back on that line, then back in. And so I a couple pull-ups, I mean, probably maybe 2 or 3, I had to pull up a little bit and straighten it out and then come back in. He was amazed that I made that parking spot. I was like, it's not that hard as long as you just keep your line, your time. And he was definitely an older guy that had, that was a little bit older than me, but he was surprised that I was able to get it in there. And I was like, I've been doing this for a while, and I've got the concept down. It's not that hard. As long as you do it like I'm telling you, you'll have no problems with it. But anyway, that was fun. That was a fun time, and I always like helping out people. I was talking to, every time I go into a Love's, because I only stop at Love's usually. Every time I go in there, I always talk to the clerks and stuff, and when I'm checking out and stuff, and asking them how their day was, and they always lie and tell me, yeah, it's good, blah blah blah. I'm like, you're lying. You'd much rather be at the beach like me. And you're like, you're right. So I mess with them and have a good time, get them going. So you got to make it fun while you're in the road, and helping people out and trying to cheer people up is a fun thing to do. Anyway, that's all I really got. You guys have a good night. Be safe. If you like the video, please hit the like button. If you like this content, please hit the subscribe button. That helps out this channel big time. If you know anybody who likes these topics, trucking, escaping the matrix, going overseas, travel, slow travel, any of that kind of stuff, just pass it along to them, and it should be a fun time. Thank you very much again for watching my videos, and I will come back with you on Sunday. Or no, I'm sorry, on Friday. I'll probably be doing my 34-hour reset then. Take care, guys, and I'll talk to you then. Bye now.